The Wise Merchant and the Buddha's Advice. In the ancient city of Shravasti, a prosperous merchant named Vishnupriya lived. His wealth was known throughout the kingdom, and his business acumen was admired by many. However, despite his vast wealth, Vishnupriya was not a happy man. His heart was burdened with worries, fear of losing his riches, anxiety over his competitors, and the constant stress of managing his large enterprises. One day, hearing about the great teacher Gautama Buddha, who was residing in the nearby Jetavana monastery, Vishnupriya decided to seek his advice. He hoped that the enlightened one could provide him with a solution to his troubles. When Vishnupriya arrived at the monastery, he was welcomed by the serene atmosphere of the place. The sound of birds chirping, the rustling of leaves in the gentle breeze, and the sight of monks walking mindfully in the garden brought a sense of peace to his troubled heart. After waiting for some time, Vishnupriya was granted an audience with the Buddha. He bowed respectfully and sat before the enlightened one, who was radiating a calm and compassionate presence. "O Blessed One," Vishnupriya began, "I am a successful merchant, but my mind is always filled with worries. I fear losing my wealth, I am anxious about my rivals, and I am constantly stressed about my business. Despite my riches, I feel no peace. I have come to you seeking advice. How can I find true happiness?" Buddha looked at Vishnupriya with deep understanding and smiled gently. "Tell me, Vishnupriya," he said, "when you go on your business trips, what do you carry with you?" Vishnupriya thought for a moment and replied, "I carry gold, jewels, and valuable goods to trade. These are my most precious possessions, and I guard them carefully." "And what happens when you reach your destination?" asked the Buddha. "I trade my goods for profit, and then I return home with even more wealth," Vishnupriya said. Buddha nodded. "But tell me, Vishnupriya, do you ever carry with you anything that is intangible, something that cannot be seen or touched, but is even more valuable?" Vishnupriya was puzzled by this question. "What do you mean, Blessed One?" "I carry only what can be traded for profit. What intangible thing could be more valuable?" Buddha's eyes sparkled with wisdom as he spoke. "Vishnupriya, there are three treasures that are far more valuable than any material wealth. These treasures are right understanding, right mindfulness, and right effort. They are the foundation of true happiness and peace." Vishnupriya listened attentively as the Buddha continued. "Right understanding is the wisdom to see things as they truly are, to understand the impermanent nature of all things, and to recognize the causes of suffering. When you have right understanding, you are not swayed by greed, anger, or delusion. You see that clinging to wealth, power, or status only leads to suffering." Buddha paused for a moment, allowing Vishnupriya to absorb his words. Then he continued, "Right mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in each moment, aware of your thoughts, words, and actions. It is the ability to observe your mind without attachment or aversion. With right mindfulness, you can see the arising and passing away of your worries, fears, and desires. You can live with clarity and peace, free from the constant turmoil of the mind." Vishnupriya felt a sense of calm washing over him as he listened to the Buddha's words. He realized that his mind had been constantly caught in a whirlwind of thoughts, always focusing on the future or dwelling on the past, never truly present in the moment. Finally, the Buddha spoke of the third treasure. Right effort is the determination to cultivate wholesome qualities and to abandon unwholesome ones. It is the effort to develop compassion, generosity, and wisdom, and to let go of greed, hatred, and ignorance. When you practice right effort, you are not only benefiting yourself, but also those around you. Your actions become a source of joy and peace for others. Buddha's words resonated deeply with Vishnupriya. He realized that he had been so focused on accumulating wealth that he had neglected the inner treasures that bring true happiness. He had been driven by fear and desire, always seeking more, but never finding satisfaction. "Buddha," Vishnupriya said with a newfound clarity, "I understand now. My wealth has been a source of anxiety because I have been clinging to it, fearing its loss. But if I cultivate right understanding, right mindfulness, and right effort, I can find peace within myself, regardless of my external circumstances." Buddha smiled, seeing the transformation in Vishnupriya's heart. "Remember, Vishnupriya, that true wealth is not measured by the gold you possess, but by the peace and wisdom in your heart. Practice these teachings and you will find the happiness you seek. Vishnupriya bowed deeply to the Buddha, his heart filled with gratitude. He left the monastery with a lighter heart, determined to cultivate the inner treasures that the Buddha had spoken of. As Vishnupriya walked back to his city, he felt a sense of peace that he had never known before. The worries that had once plagued him seemed to dissolve in the light of the Buddha's wisdom. He realized that true happiness was not something to be found in the accumulation of wealth, but in the cultivation of a wise and compassionate heart. From that day on, Vishnupriya lived a life guided by the Buddha's teachings. He continued his business, but with a different mindset. He practiced generosity, helping those in need, and treated his competitors with kindness and respect. He meditated regularly, cultivating mindfulness and understanding in his daily life. And most importantly, he learned to let go of his attachment to wealth, knowing that true peace comes from within. Vishnupriya's transformation inspired many others in the city, and his life became a living example of the Buddha's wisdom. He had discovered the true meaning of wealth, not in gold and jewels, but in the treasures of the heart. This story illustrates the profound wisdom of Gautama Buddha's teachings, focusing on the importance of inner wealth over material possessions and how cultivating mindfulness, understanding, and effort can lead to true happiness.